modern drummer, David Frangioni, Charlie Benante. Here we are at Charlie's Pantera kit. Now, is this the A kit or the B kit, or how do you delineate?
This is the A kit. That's the B kit over there.
Okay, so they're identical essentially in configuration, right?
Correct.
Okay, so we're going to focus on this kit. This is absolutely beautiful, first of all, and there's a lot of sonic possibilities going on here.
Yes.
All right, so let's talk drums first.
Okay.
What are you playing?
Okay, so this is a Tama Star kit, 14, 15, 16, 18, and then a 20 gong drum.
Okay.
22-inch kick drums.
Okay.
Now, Vinnie used to play 24s, and used to have longer toms, but for me, I always play 22-inch kick drums. They have more of a punch, and plus, I can never fit these toms on a 24-inch kick drum.
Right. They're hard to position.
It's too high.
Yeah.
Cymbals are all Paiste cymbals. There's a lot of Rudes up here. They cut through the band, I think, the most, and then that's a custom ride that they made for me.
Prototype.
Yeah, it's a Mega Bell ride. They never made a 22. That's a 22.
Nice. What's the snare drum?
That's my snare drum. That's my signature snare drum. It's a stainless steel 6.5 by 14. Tama made that, and love that drum.
And so, if we go around the cymbals, you got 14-inch Paiste. It looks like a signature.
Yeah,
or what?
Paiste signatures.
Okay, beautiful. And they even in a very loud, energetic environment like this, those work, right? Because they're kind of the opposite of rude in some ways,
exactly.
right? But they work for you.
I like the way they sound with the songs, and then the Sound Edge ones. I use those for an X hat.
Okay, so 15-inch sound,
yeah,
2002s.
More of that sizzle. They're not tight. They just ride.
Okay.
It happens to be tight now.
But they don't typically stay that way.
No,
okay.
I'll loosen them up.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you've got an 18-inch
Rude, Novo China Rude. This is one of my favorite cymbals. This cuts through anything. It's like the Ginsu of cymbals. This is a 18. This is a basher, a Rude basher. This is another one. Before I went to this, I was using like a full crash, but I couldn't hear it with the rest of the cymbals. So
okay.
I went back to that.
Okay.
That's a Splash. Another basher.
20-inch.
Yeah. Is that a Novo China?
Yeah, this is a 2002 China.
Yeah, that's
beautiful looking
I've used
cymbal.
this cymbal since the beginning of the band Anthrax, and it's never left. So I had it incorporated in here too. And yeah, just
19-inch Wild Crash. Okay. Another China.
Yeah. That's another Rude.
Another Rude, and then an 18-inch
That's a Wild Crash.
Okay, that's a 2000. So it's a blend of the 2002s.
Yeah.
And you got an effect cymbal.
Yeah, stack. That's I use that for the song This Love. Vinnie had this sound on that song. It's kind of like a swish. And I didn't want to use a trigger with the sample of it. I wanted to use this, which sounds like the sound. So
okay, that's cool.
I wanted that instead of hitting.
That's what it needed. The song.
Exactly.
Okay, but speaking of triggers, the drums look like they're all triggered, right?
Yes.
Including the bass drum.
Yep.
Okay, and so what are you triggering?
So these are rolling triggers. For me, they're the best in the business. Dependable. Never have a problem. Then it goes through rolling brain here.
Okay.
As you can see, the sounds that are in there are Vinnie's drum sounds.
TD50X. Okay.
So when you hear our sound guy does a blend, he'll do like 70% acoustic, and then the 30 is the sample, the trigger.
Every song?
Every song.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're really depending that these triggers and the settings are gonna be
but like I
reliable
said,
and
it's
work.
only 30% of the sound. The rest comes from the actual drum sound, the EQ that he does out there.
Right.
But I like to know and hear that it's those sounds, as Vinnie's sounds are in there.
Right.
Makes it sound a lot more like Pantera.
Awesome. And it's been and what are you doing with this?
That's
the
a
BT
trigger.
one?
So this triggers the side stick in This Love. It's hard for me to do a side stick when you have a trigger because you're going to hear the trigger.
Sure.
So this is just a side stick sample.
So this is the This Love section of the kit.
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome.
I love this section.
Yeah, it's awesome. And what are you playing, Vic Firth?
Yes. These are a signature stick that I made a couple of years ago.
Beautiful.
It has a different, it's a longer stick. As you can see, the shaft is different.
Yeah.
Because in Anthrax, I would wear the stick down so much, just crashing, that it would break. And these don't break. So, reliable.
And that's your signature stick
Yeah.
with the Pantera logo and the whole
Yeah.
thing. And this is something that they make onto the stick.
So Vic, they came up with this, which is called the dip.
Right.
It just helps you grip the stick better. And I usually wear, either I'll wear gloves or I'll wear tape. I've been wearing tape with Pantera.
Pedals?
Pedals are Speed Cobra.
All the way around,
All the way
Tama.
around. And I used to use Camco pedals back in the day. And then they came out with a different line of these pedals. And for the first time, I was like, I'm going to switch. And I went to these. It's a longer board. I don't know, man. For me, they're smoother.
Dual chain.
Dual chain, exactly. They also came out with a Dynasync, or a direct drive pedal, which I also like too. But for this, I'm just using a chain.
And a Porter and Davies, it looks like.
Yes.
So you're loving this?
This is I rely on this too much, I think, to give me when I can't put a big woofer behind me, you know? Because when we play our headline shows, I have two big 18s underneath me.
Oh, okay.
And this. I like to feel it, you know? It's very important. And the other thing I would talk about is this unit right here. Jerry Harvey Audio, JH Audio, who make the in-ears for us, they made me this DSP unit, which I have a hearing loss in my right ear. I lost some of the higher frequencies, and with this, he made this so that they replace the frequencies that I lost. So when I come up here, I plug in, it sounds crisp. It sounds great.
Wow, fantastic.
Yeah.
And how long have you been using that?
I started using this on the European tour back in the summer.
Wow,
and it's really changed.
And is it available commercially? Or
Yes, it's called the Pearl unit, and I sent him what I lost in my ear, and he replaced it. And,
wow. So that and the Porter and Davies, and you've got a stage monitoring setup that's really...
It sounds great.
Yeah, it's there for you.
Yeah.
So for the rest of the kit, I noticed you've got these two cool side bass drums. Like that's a visual, right?
It's just a visual, yeah.
But it looks great.
I grew up in a time when drums were like big. Everything was big. Keith Moon, Alex Van Halen, and this is kind of a bit of a Van Halen type of, an homage to Alex Van Halen.
Awesome.
So yeah, the kits, there's just a thin shell. There's it's not much of a shell at all, but I like the way it looks. That's it. I can't hit them, but it looks cool.
Right.
And then the artwork on these two kits, you have Diamond Vinnie raising a drink, and that to me was having them here with us, because the first couple of shows that we played were for everybody very emotional, playing these songs again, and them not being here. So I don't know, man. They're here with us,
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a beautiful tribute. It's very visual, and it's very telling of like the spirit.
The spirit
right?
of them, and with a drink in their hand,
Yeah.
a toast. So every night we toast to them.
Oh, that's awesome. Wow. The Evans heads.
Yes.
So what do we have going on with the Evans?
Okay, so Evans, I think they make the best drum heads at this point because I can get 3-4 shows out of these drum heads. Mm-hmm. They came out with this UV2 head for the snare drum. I think it's the best snare drum head that they've come out with in years. Because, everybody likes to, the SD dry or, the reverse dot. But this, to me, made my snare drum come to life. I love them.
And what about the bottom head on the snare?
The bottom head is just
Just a
very
thin, clear,
thin,
kind of the standard,
Yeah.
the head that comes when somebody buys your signature drum.
Exactly.
Okay, and what about the bottom? What do we have on
So
these?
these are the black chromes on top. They have
Okay.
a nice shine to it, and they also sound really good.
A lot of body.
A lot of body
Wow.
to them. And I was using G2s on the top and G1s on the bottom.
Okay.
And then I asked them about these heads. You think I could get, a few shows out of them? They said, yeah, try it. And I tried it, and I love it. Especially in this room, it's so big. It just sounds great, So Evans, I think they make great stuff.
Great, awesome. And Tama, what do you do? The gong drum, what is that typically? How does that integrate into the kit?
So the gong drum, I use it in 2 songs. I use it in the song called Becoming, where he has a part of the song that almost sounds like an 808 kick.
Oh, wow, okay.
And I hit that then. I also hit it in the song Cowboys from Hell.
Okay.
So, it's a gong drum.
Right,
It's
right,
big,
right.
I used to love the way Neil used his gong drum. Just always had this great tone. Simon Phillips has a gong drum. And
Sure.
to me, it's like, I got to have a gong drum.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it fits the songs perfectly for what, like that big bottom 808
Exactly.
sound. There
There it is.
Wow. This is the B kit 2, if you will.
Yeah.
It's the same configuration, right? Just a different finish.
Yeah, this is just the chrome look. That one is a black chrome. Basically, everything's the same on this kit, but the shells are a little different. They're Babinga, half Babinga, half maple. That's all maple.
So check out all the details on the kit A, the first kit. And it all applies to this, but we wanted to show you this is the other kit on stage. And you're using this on all the Pantera shows you have, or just stadium shows?
These are for the Metallica stadium
Okay,
shows.
you're doing the 2 kits.
Yeah,
Okay.
but on the Pantera shows, I usually play that one.
Got it.
A kit. This was the first kit that I got.
Okay, and then that
And then
became
that-
the kit 1.
yeah.
Awesome. This kit is phenomenal. Charlie Benante, it's always an honor
Thank
to
you,
hang
bro.
and to see you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Check him out on tour with Pantera, on tour with Anthrax.
Yes.
When you're not, you're a busy guy. And this is a beautiful kit. So Modern Drummer, we'll see you again soon. Thank you.